Hello and welcome to this video on Python project ideas for developers at different level. So in this video we will discuss 5 project ideas for beginner, intermediate and advanced level of Python developers. Let us start with a beginner level project. So the first one which you can try is what number guessing game. Let us guess the number game. So you can create a simple game where the user has to guess a randomly generated number within a certain range. For example, 0 to 100 or 0 to 1000 or 1000 to 2000. So whatever the range you can give it. This project will teach you the basics of conditional statements, loops and user inputs, everything. The second one is what the calculator. So this is the another project which you can try. You can create a command line calculator that can perform basic arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So this project will teach you about functions, user input and error handling. So the third one is what the password generator. So generate a strong and secure password using Python's random module. So this project will teach you about working with modules, generating random values and string manipulations, etc. The fourth one is what the word counter. Count the number of words, lines, and characters in a text file. This project will teach you about working with files, string manipulations, and loops. And the final project which you can try in the beginner level is what web scraper. So scrap data from the website and store it in a CSV or Excel file. This is not like hacking, okay? This is scrapping the data. This project will teach you about working with external libraries like Beautiful Soup and requests working with the data formats like JSON and CSV and error handling exceptions, etc. So let us move on to the intermediate level. So in intermediate level, you have 5 projects. That is web application using Flask is what the first project. So you can build a web application using the Flask framework that allow users to create, read, update and delete data from a database. So this project will teach you about web development using Flask, working with databases and creating RESTful APIs. The next one is the password manager. Build a password manager application that allows users to store and retrieve passwords securely using encryption. So this project will teach you about encryption and decryption techniques, working with database and user authentication. The third one is what the file organizer. Create a program that can sort and organize files on a computer based on file type or other criteria. So this project will teach you about the file input and output operations, conditional statements and functions. Next one is the book recommendation system. Create a program that recommends books to users based on their reading history or preferences. So this project will teach you about the data structures like dictionaries or lists and algorithms for recommendation system. And finally, in the intermediate level, you should also learn desktop GUI application. So you can build a desktop GUI application using tkinter library that allows user to perform certain tasks like converting files or renaming multiple files at once. This project will teach you about GUI development using tkinter, working with files and directories and file handling user events. And finally, let us discuss about the advanced level of projects. So, the Django web development build a complete web application using the Django framework, including authentication, user management, and payment integration. So, this project will teach you about web development using Django, working with databases and models, and creating complex business logic. Next one is what RESTful API development. Build a RESTful API using the Flask or Django framework that allows external applications to access your application's data. So the project will teach you about building APIs using Flask or Django, working with JSON data and handling authentication and authorization. The third one is what building a game. So build a complete game using Python and game development library like Pygame. So this project will teach you about game development using Python, building games, engines, and working with game asset like graphics and sounds. So the next project is what? DevOps automation. So in DevOps automation, you can build an automation script using Python that automates the deployment and management of a web application on cloud server like AWS or Google Cloud Platform. This project, this project will teach you about working with cloud providers, deploying web applications using automation scripts, and using containerization technologies like Docker. So the final one is what? The parallel processing. Write a program that can process data in parallel using multi-processing or multi-threading. So this project will teach you about working with concurrent programming, synchronization techniques, and parallel processing libraries like multi-processing and threading. So you can use various packages for this particular projects. So for the guess the number game, you don't want any external packages required. For the calculator as well, you don't want any external packages. For the password generator, you need a random module from Python standard library. So it is there in Python standard library itself. For word counter, no external packages required. Web scrapper, you need requests and beautiful soup 4 package for web scrapping. Web application using Flask, you need a Flask framework and SQL Alchemy for working with database. Password manager, for password manager, you need a cryptography package for encryption and decryption. For file organizer, you don't need any external package. For book recommendation system too, you don't know specifically read an external package like whatever I have explained. If you're using that, you don't need anything. But if you wanted to if you wanted to add some more thing into it, some more functionality into it, you can go ahead with any other packages. For desktop GUI application, you need tkinter package for GUI development. GUI means graphical user interface development. For Django, you need Django framework and Django REST framework for beautiful RESTful API. For RESTful API development, you need Flask or Django frameworks and JSON for working with the API data. For building a game, you need a Pygame library. For DevOps automation, you need Boto3, that is BOTO3 package for working with AWS services, and Paramiko, that is PARAMIKO package for SSH connections. For parallel processing, you need multiprocessing and threading packages for the processing. Okay, so that's all for the today's video. So you can use, see, whatever I have discussed is what the basic thing that is which you can easily use it. Okay, so apart from this, you can even try, you can go ahead with any other packages as well if you wanted to use, because in your point of view, if you want to add oops concept, you can add it. If you want the functions, you can add it. So all of this is or completely depends on you. You can enhance your project based on your requirement. So if you want more project, or if you want the code for this particular projects, whatever I have explained, please leave a comment. I'll be helping you out. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.